Another bruise.
Nice.
We'll get there.
No amount of video footage could capture the difficulty in getting here over the last 4 days. Pure bushwhacking. But it was all to get to this lake. Once we get to this lake, the options are either go through, try and find our way through there, or option B is go up here and take this. This creek flows this way. This is one of two really tough parts of the trip, I think.
Okay.
That might just fail. The high water will help us.
Yeah.
But in all likelihood, we're going to be up to our knees or waist in water, in cold water.
Yeah.
For parts of this, just to get through the nasty parts.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be cold as hell. I'm sure more than once on this trip we're going to try something and then end up going back.
Start day 3 with either this or this?
Yeah, I would say so. This might be a tough day.
Yeah.
This lake looks really beautiful too. It's got those
That
islands
looks nice,
smattered in the middle. So does this one. Small lake with islands. I love them.
Yeah.
This trip could be a dream.
Might be a nightmare.
It could be a nightmare.
A little bit of both, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, dinner's probably ready.
Alright. Cheers. John's lost a shoe.
I can't find it. I went down under the snow into the mud. Should have got boots. Took my water shoes because they drain well and dry well. Almost there. Definitely looks like there's ice on the lake. That's a concern.
So there's a bit of a skimming on top of the lake, but nothing we haven't dealt with before. Looks great.
Back for the second load and almost back up Mount Doom. Let's do this. This is pretty incredible. The ice is going out before our eyes. We've been worried about it all month. It's been late spring here in Northern Ontario, and it is, the last of it is melting right in front of our eyes. First cast. What do you think of those cliffs?
They're beautiful. Beautiful.
There's an incredible rainbow around the sun right now. Very cool. So we're at portage number 2 here. Oh, not much support there. Made it to the pond on the way to Nelly Lake. It's about halfway between the lakes. Be a bad time to fall or lose my shoe like I just did. It's okay. It's on my foot still. Oh boy. That's cold. That's cold. It's cold. Oh crap. You okay? Yeah. Oh boy. We already took the paddles across on the last portage, so we're gonna paddle this part, or pull it anyway. Sticks up pretty well. Here it is, Nelly Lake. Probably my favorite lake anywhere. Still got a lot more ice on it.
It's amazing.
Look at those cliffs. Well, we've hit a bit of an impasse here. There's pretty thick ice here, several inches if not more, and we cannot plow through that with the canoe. So we're kind of stuck. Like, we can see open water over there. It's only, I don't know, a few hundred meters away, so maybe we can skirt along the shore. So we're gonna see if we can skirt along the shoreline. A few hundred meters should get us back to open water. But this ice is just painfully cold, or the water is painfully cold. Maybe we'll take turns in the water.
Forward to a fire tonight.
Yep.
Some wool socks.
Yeah.
Dry ones.
Oh. Oh, that's deep. You gotta get out soon, huh? You're gonna get some chills. I'll take a turn.
Okay. Should I get out?
No, no.
Yeah.
This ice has a bit of force to it. It's gonna hurt my shin. That's what we're dealing with.
Almost there.
So close. Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Hang on. Yep.
Oh boy.
Whew.
I think maybe we'll camp here tonight. Get a fire going.
That's a good idea.
No sudden movements. Camera's on its own right now. Actually, hold on. This is a terrible idea.
Hold on. Really? Wow, that was an adventure.
Sure was. You did amazing. Great job. That was nuts.
That was nuts.
Let's get a fire going.
Let's do that. Wow, look at this view though.
Moose tracks.
Yep. Erin tracks.
So this is as far as I got on this route last summer. Made a little fire pit here and camped here. It's quite a nice site. We're going to take it for the night just to get a fire going and get dinner in our bellies. We'll clear the portage to the next trail and then just hang out for the evening. It's been a full day. Accomplished plenty today. Oh, it smells good.
Feels amazing already.
Yeah, I bet.
Ooh, those are red. I'm not going to be surprised if I've got a couple bruises from kicking that ice.
Yeah, I'm sure. It started spitting, so we got the tent down, lickety split. It's time for some dinner. It's a nice campsite. So we're doing non-calzones for dinner. We've got dehydrated onion, tomato, mushroom, bell peppers, and spinach. Just gonna let that rehydrate for a bit on the fire. Veggies are ready, they smell delicious. And now we're just toasting and spritzing the naan. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. You gotta spritz and toast it first or it's not the same. Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well,
my fingers. How's that not burning you?
I don't care right now. Oh, it's good.
I believe you. Yep, well done. Well done, sir.
Oh, those dehydrated veggies just
They're
heaven.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some Italian wine.
Fine Italian.
Thanks, Bill.
Cuisine for the night.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel human again.
Yeah.
Only one left. We're gonna have to share it.
Ow!
Oh, the pan?
The pan!
Oh no!
It's okay. Oh, you got me. We're gonna have to share.
Did I get you or did you?
Your hands are on the pan. Okay, move back. Okay.
Delicious.
Well with the burn.
Oh, I could eat 2 more. I had a lovely supper, feeling a lot more human now. And we are just hiking over here to where we intend to go tomorrow. We're going to clear the portage. That's our site right over there. So it's just a little stroll down the shoreline. When I came here in the summer, this was a dense forest. It was just like a rainforest. And now I can see that there's a bit of a trail here, which it looks more like a creek right now, but that's going to help a lot. The route is just covered in these prickly little branches. They're not that bad, but they're not pleasant either. I'm trying to clear them out. Here we go. Lackobere Lake. Beautiful. Wow. So calm.
Wow. Look at this beach.
Nice island out there in the middle. Just calm as can be. We're finally getting some dry socks and shoes on. How's that feel?
So good. Look at my dead feet.
Yeah, they were pretty
okay.
clammy. They're coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they come back pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I'm just settling into bed after a successful first day. We had some great portages, some great paddling, a couple of roadblocks here and there, but we made it through with good teamwork, and now I'm pooped, so I'm gonna get to bed. It's about 8:30. Still lots of daylight left, but I'm hoping to be up with the sun tomorrow. John's out for a quick paddle and fish, and then he's gonna come settle in as well.
Slept for 10 hours. It's amazing how much of a dent the first day puts in you. We better get at her. It feels pretty chilly and windy out there. Wow.
Ooh.
I love this campsite.
Hear the wind?
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh wow. So our breakfasts are going to be made up of steel-cut oats. I've got some dehydrated blueberries here, which doesn't look like much, but there are a lot of blueberries in there. Just going to get that rehydrating right away. And we got brown sugar, peanut butter, steel-cut oats, cinnamon, dehydrated banana, and powdered milk. Okay, oatmeal's all set. Just gonna put a nice glob of peanut butter in there. The cinnamon, powdered milk, brown sugar, those are mixed up in here. I'll pour them in now. Did them separately just to try and combine them so they wouldn't be lumpy. It's hitting the spot. Last night the spring peepers were going. That rushing little stream there, and some birds. It was just like that music you used to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was.
Fell asleep in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So yesterday we took Wolf Camp Lake where we saw that moose, portaged into Sealy Lake here, up through this creek to the pond, and then into Nelly Lake, camped here, and now we're heading over to Lac aux Bières. But first we're gonna go hike up the cliffs that we've been looking at for the last 12 hours. I did that last summer and the view was spectacular, so I gotta take Erin up there. And then after Lac aux Bières, Skipper Lake, Boyer Lake, North Skipper, there. And then after that we'll be heading down this creek, up this creek, and then the really hard part of the trip begins. Okay, we're on the far side and we're just gonna bushwhack up until we can get to the clearing. Not too bad. Here's our first view, but it gets so much better than this. Here we go! Look at this! That's Superior out there. That's Sealy Lake, that's the pond. Nelly Lake is down there out of view right now. And that's where we're heading, all out there. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Worth it?
Sure.
Sure. I think Erin only wanted to come halfway up. So that's Lac aux Bières Lake where we're heading. And then we're heading through a few lakes in here. I think that's Boyer, that visible one there. And I think we're going way up to that one, and then over across to that one, and then back down out of sight here. And funny enough, this north wind has blown all the ice into that end of the lake. We could have walked out to that point there and then been ice free if we'd come in today, but oh well. Part of the adventure.
Whoa! I'm okay.
back to the bottom. That was quite a mission. Not sure Erin agrees with the choice of use of energy, but she'll be happy we did it later. We're all packed up and we're back on the trail. So we're heading out into Lac-A-Beer Lake now, but we got a bit of a headwind to work with. Oh yeah.
We're just finishing up portage and my boot decided to start falling apart. So we've got some tape and I'm just gonna tape it up for now and hope it holds for a bit. And then we'll try and dry it out and do a better job later, but see what we can do. Yeah, I'm in there. Like shin pads.
Yeah. That last portage was clear, but it was almost a kilometer, so we're feeling it. And it's just not a nice day. It's just pretty nasty, so we're eager to get to camp and set up. Not even gonna fish on this lake.
Stunning.
Shame to rush through this lake. It's really pretty.
We're trail hunting right now. We have one more portage left today, and there's supposed to be a snow machine trail that leads to it, which would save us a lot of time and energy. So we're trying to find it, but it says it's in here somewhere, and we're yet to see any signs of it. So we're just gonna walk through and see what we can find. Hopefully it's a little bit more obvious if we get closer. We found the trail, and we're just finishing up the last portage of the day. I think I've actually lost track, but I think we've done about 6 today. So we're pretty excited to be back into Boyer Lake and find ourselves a camp and set up.
Huh? Gentle, gentle, gentle. Nice. Oh, walleye, nice. Well done.
Yeah.
First fish of the trip.
Right on.
Nice little walleye. Perfect eater too.
I just caught the first fish of the trip. John got it in the net. Oh, he's
Nice walleye.
eggs?
Huh?
What's happening here? Are there those eggs?
Oh, is it? Oh, it's milt. I think it's milt. Squeezing out milt. Okay. Let him go. Let him go spawn. Interesting. He hasn't spawned out yet. The end of May.
Just did.
Oh, good job.
Nice.
Thank you. Here we go. Ah, killed me. See these gill plates?
Mm-hmm.
They're really sharp. There you go, buddy. Thank you. Sorry? Yeah.
I thought it was gonna, like, that would be bad.
No, yeah, it's not that bad. Paddled all around the lake, finally found a great little site, which is mostly out of the wind, which is really key for us right now. We are just freezing, extremely hungry. Gonna get some dinner and some clothes on. I dehydrated some pineapple. Just a little sugar right now. It's really hitting the spot.
Really good. Oh. Much needed. It was a wretchedly cold day today, just chilly, no sun, wet from the beginning. So we're finally at camp, shoes on, dry socks, and we're getting a fire going. I'm gonna get some dinner going. And we cannot wait. There we go.
Here's the appetizer. Garlic bread, cheese, and chili. Oh, it's hot.
It is hot.
Come on, wind.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
Badly needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Now that we feel human again, I can say that this lake is really beautiful. Really a nice campsite, actually. Pretty good tent pad back there, and lots of firewood back in the woods. But the fact remains that Erin's boot is messed up, and that is a serious problem for us. I have a small amount of super glue and some more Gorilla tape, and that's all we have. That's our only option.
We just got our air mattresses filled up. It's starting to rain outside, and so we've got an evening in the tent with a bladder of scotch.
We're completely pooped. The pitter patter of rain is just putting us to sleep. It's 7:30, but we have nothing else we have to do today, and we're good with just falling asleep. We just want to conk right out for the night, so we're gonna take some Benadryl with our scotch, which I think is this bright pink one. Here you go.
Thank you.
Also have itchy eyes because there was a ton of pollen on some of the trees today, and it was just shaking off into our faces. So Benadryl will help. Bottoms up.
Thank you. Down the hatch.
That put us right out. Really loving this campsite this morning. Birds of all kinds seem to be calling. And there's a bit of blue in the sky. And these views are just lovely.
just collecting some sap. There's kind of pockets of them on the trunks of the trees. And I'm using it, we heat it up. And then I'm going to try and use it as a bit of a glue for my chute, for its sole, to try and help bind it. So we can carry on our way. Now I'm just heating up the sap that I collected. It actually will sometimes catch fire. But if it heats up nicely, that helps it to be sticky. Now we're gonna slide it in here. I'm trying to get it as far in there as I can. Add a little bit of super glue to the tips. And that's what we call a backcountry shoe repair.
Let's hope it holds. Here's the Gorilla tape.
Awesome.
And if that doesn't work, then all we have left is paracord and more sap. Could be a daily repair every time we make camp. Hopefully not.
It's mostly spruce and birch in here, but there's a bit of balsam fir, which is where Erin's finding these sap blisters to pop.
Alright, we'll see how that goes.
Fish on. Feels small. Yeah, little walleye. Thanks, man.
Beginning at day 3, we're just finding our trail for our first portage of the day. There's supposed to be another snowmobile trail here. We had a little bit of trouble finding it. It wasn't super obvious, but
We saw these cut logs.
with some
That helped us.
little bit of evidence of human interaction, we were able to track it down. So it's somewhere through there. Is where we're heading.
If you have your flagging tape, let's put one up here.
Okay.
Big moose out there. They're looking at us. We're in a stalemate. Okay. That's a big guy. I was thinking this marsh looked pretty moosey.
Beautiful. I see moose. There's a beaver dam, some birds on the water. The sun's peeking through. Stunning.
Really wild spot.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Just quiet and calm.
Wow. walleye.
Oh, nice.
There's a fly-in outpost camp on this lake, North Skipper Lake, and it's pretty sweet. It's got some new docks that just have some nice long spruce logs as their base. It's pretty authentic. I think this is the last sign of civilization that we're going to see. We also don't have any kind of a track anymore. Sly, if you happen to watch this, thanks so much for your snowmobile tracks. They really helped up to this point. Now we don't know anything. We don't know how we're gonna get to the next lake. So it's a real adventure from here on out. Might get the net ready there. This one's definitely got more weight than the other ones. Ah. Okay, 5 pounds. You gonna net him? Go for it. Whoa! Oh, it's actually not that bad. Lift.
I don't have a good.
Oh, okay. Here.
I don't. It's
I'll
better.
take the
Yeah.
net. Yeah.
I don't have good leverage.
Thanks. That's not a bad one.
It's good size.
Meaty. Decent pike. And he's got what looks like a pike's tail sticking out of his gullet. He hasn't been able to swallow it. It's too long. Yet he's still eating this. We see a flag in this spruce there, so hopefully we're gonna get one more portage into the Gym Lake. So I made this map in planning this trip, and I drew an imaginary line here as to where I thought the trail might be based on the contour lines. And funny enough, that's exactly where this trail is. And we probably wouldn't have found it if it weren't for this flag, so we're super grateful for the flagger on this one. This trail is a lot less used and cleared than the ones we've seen so far. It's not bad though, it's mostly small stuff, but it's 1 kilometer long, so it's going to take a while to clear it, let alone portage it. So I jumped the gun on saying that there was a trail. There's really not anymore, so we're pretty much just bushwhacking it. This is what it looks like after we clear. And this is before. Not too bad, but just taking a long time. It's good. We got about 2/3 of the way through, but we're just too hungry and dehydrated, so we're filtering a bunch of water. We're gonna cook lunch, and then we'll finish off the last third of clearing after that.
Just working on lunch here. We have some sidekicks mixed with a bit of rehydrated chicken for some protein.
Oh, needed this.
Need some carbs and calories real bad right about now.
Yeah. We're more than halfway to Gym Lake, and we're getting there, clearing pretty good paths. It is tiring work. There must be a bear nearby, and for whatever reason, it really likes this spot because it's pooped everywhere around here. Another huge spruce, just everywhere. I've never seen bear poo this concentrated. We're almost through. We can see the clearing now. It's quite a relief. We're scouting ahead, but we're almost done. Maybe a couple more, 200 more meters. Wow. Looks pretty nice. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. Look at this.
Wow. Like glass right now.
Wow.
No signs of a trail, which is good because we were scared that we somehow missed the trail. Oh, okay. We should be here in 2 more hours. We just realized the sun was getting low. Checked the time and it's 7:30. So we still have a fair bit of work to do and getting concerned about daylight at this point. It's kind of spooky in here too. We've been a little spooked since we saw this giant spruce with the poop all around it, like in a circle. It's like some satanic poop ritual. But we're done clearing finally after about 6 hours of clearing. Almost most of our day. Finally. Just soaking my feet in cold water. We did it.
We did it. That took almost everything I have.
Yep.
That was good.
Let's find camp.
We're still gonna find camp.
Yeah.
And make dinner.
But look at this.
Oh, so worth it.
Some exposed rock over there. 11 o'clock. Fish on. I don't really have time, but get it in quick and see what we're dealing with. Little pike. Love to shake him. Just 1 second, please, please, please. Thank you. Well, we found a site. It's not perfect, but we are just too tired to care. Erin's gonna get dinner going, and I'm gonna set up a tent. Tent pad isn't amazing. Find something in here. We'll sleep on almost anything right now. For dinner tonight, we've got some dehydrated mushroom, tomato, pasta, penne, and dehydrated tomato sauce. There's dinner. Lots of Parmesan, some cheddar. It couldn't be more needed right now. That was an incredible day. Beautiful, but ultimately very hard. Day 1, waded through ice. That was a big challenge there. Day 2, cold.
Yeah.
Was a big challenge.
Cold all day.
Today was just pure beast mode.
What'll tomorrow bring?
It's just getting dark now. Stars are starting to come out. I'd love to stay up for them, but we just don't have the capacity. We're looking forward to going to bed.
Good morning.
Erin very generously offered to make breakfast while I go out for a paddle. Thanks, honey. Oh, that's why the beaver was pissed at us. His lodge is right here. Beaver was splashing his tail all night. Birds were chirping in the trees right around us early this morning, which I could not sleep through. Erin couldn't sleep through the beaver. I couldn't sleep through the birds, so I'm a little tired. This is an insanely nice morning. Yesterday evening was spectacular as well. The water was super calm, it was pleasant, just a few mosquitoes. But we were too tired to enjoy it and we had to scramble to get ready. Fish on, fish off. In typical pike fashion, pike comes up to the lure it just hit, which is hard. You wouldn't think it would feel very good. And he hit it. Right at the boat side. Tools are ready. Barbless hooks come right out, which is real nice.
for catch and release. I'm gonna keep some fish eventually, but not right now. I'm scouting our path a little bit for this morning, and we need to get from Jim Lake here through this creek to this unnamed lake, and today could be pretty difficult. Right here we can get the canoe by just barely. The creek is deep enough but just barely wide enough, but I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of bushwhacking in here as well, and it's probably going to be a pretty long day. But this lake looks super exciting, and I doubt anyone gets in there. It's dotted with some islands, so we're really excited about this one. We're expecting the next couple of days to be very wild. Hey, just one small pike. I scouted the route a little bit, and it looks like we might be able to paddle or pull the canoe through the creek for a while. Fingers crossed. Oh, that hurts the back. Echo! Mornings like this are what we live for. Late May, very pleasant and warm. Not a breeze, no bugs. Birds are calling. Start of the season. This is pretty much my Christmas.
What's happening with your pants?
These are my old pants. I sleep in them. But they're really tight around the butt. They're pulled down a little. So I've got my regular pants on again. My butt feels so free. And Erin tells me that pretty much all women's pants feel like that. So my heart goes out to a woman today.
I have some battle scars after my fight with the ice. I got pretty bruised up. Oh, it was pretty thick ice, so kicking through it wasn't as easy as it looked. It definitely left its mark.
Oh. All right, day 4. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, this we'll try and blast. Nice. There you go.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. It's all damp. Good job, hon. Oh. Oh.
It's okay.
All right.
Yes.
Lots of water. Thank you, Beaver.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
We are so thrilled to not be bushwhacking today. We thought there might be a lot along this creek, but so far the beavers are making this navigable with just some leftovers. we really didn't want to bushwhack. Our hands are so raw. Here, huh? Pineapple slices. We're in this secluded little pond, wondering who's been here in recent times. We've hit some pretty ugly looking stuff here. We're gonna scout ahead, but it doesn't look right. We knew coming into this trip that there's always a chance we could fail with this route, but we're gonna keep going on. We're back to bushwhacking. It looks similar to the length that we bushwhacked yesterday, which is kind of horrifying. But hopefully we find something decent. We scouted it ahead a bit, and it's an older forest and there's not so much alder. This part has some, but that'll help clear out the understory. Lunch today is shepherd's pie. We got ground beef, dehydrated veggies, powdered potatoes, and the spices. Erin's shoe, unfortunately, is starting to come apart, so it's just paracord at this point. But she's a trooper, not complaining one bit. Nice spot for lunch. It's looking pretty good. It would be nice to put the potatoes on top, like a traditional shepherd's pie, but we don't want to make that many dishes. Erin and I work apart a little bit for safety, so we don't rip a branch back that flies into the person's face, and so we don't slash each other. But the dehydrated food has also given us a real case of the toots, so it's even more reason to stay further apart. We were working hard to clear before lunch, and we went back to finish the rest of the clearing, and we're in a nice older stand of spruce mostly, and it's a lot more conducive to making a trail through here.
Either this creek here to the right, which isn't much, or over here to the left, which also isn't much. We have to get through to get to our next pond.
This is a pretty spectacular pond, though.
So it's beautiful.
It's gonna be a brook trout honey hole, but we don't even have time to fish it. It's full of minnows.
So we're just trying to make a decision of which way to go. We're heading into the second last portage of the day. Another one that we had to clear, but it wasn't nearly as dense as some of what we did yesterday and earlier today. So we're just powering through it. It's about 6:30 already in the evening, so we still have another pond to go through, another portage about double the length of this that's not cleared either. So I have a little while before we get to set up camp, but we're making good progress now. We're working our way through still. You can see we didn't do quite as much clearing. We just did the bare minimum because we're running out of daylight and we still have a lot to do. So we just did what we had to be able to get through. So, but it's going okay. We're almost there. So we're just coming into our last pond of the day. One more port and then we should get into our lake. But first we have to get through this narrow channel that isn't very easy. We might have to do some wading, but we're trying to avoid it right now with some body movement. Good job.
No amount of video footage could capture the difficulty in getting here over the last 4 days, especially the last two. Pure bushwhacking. But it was all to get to this lake this pristine, beautiful lake. And tomorrow, we get a rest day, hon. Oh. I'm hot. I'm filthy. The water is going to be horrible, but I need it. Just gonna go in and rinse my clothes while I'm at it. Oh, there's my lighter. So paranoid I have something. Oh. 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 That's brutal.
Wet feet are just a fact of life out here. We just all day, every day in our soggy boots. So then today when we get to take them off, it's amazing. You can see I have the imprints of my socks on my feet. A couple blisters starting, but just to be able to have them out of those boots for a little bit is amazing. Didn't know those were there.
We're expecting rain tomorrow, which is why we're hoping it's a good day for a rest day, and we just simply need the rest day. So I'm getting the tarp up in advance. Years ago I used to find tarps so difficult to rig up, but it's actually so easy. It's all about the ridge line, and everything else you're just staking out.
Today was an absolutely grueling day, and so was yesterday, so I'm just exhausted. We just got to camp. It's probably close to 9 in the evening, and I don't even have energy for dinner. We set up the tent, and I got in here, and John's been good enough to do the rest, set up the tarp, and do the other prep for our possible rain day tomorrow. I don't even have energy for dinner. So I'm gonna have a energy bar, so I have something in my stomach, but that's it for me. It was, we knew they were gonna be tough days, but it's one thing to know it's gonna be a tough day and another day to actually slog through it. So, but totally worth it. Beautiful sight, and yeah, it's been amazing, but I'm just wrecked.
Yesterday we were too tired to even have a drink when we got back. Brought a liter of scotch, but we're not making much of a dent in it. But tonight we're having a toast. Erin from bed. Cheers. Cheers to making it to this point.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
I'm very proud of her. She's done an amazing job, really held in there. And together we've done an awesome job.
Great teamwork.
Never shouted at each other. Could have. Mostly her shouting at me. But
I was gonna say, what?
no.
Do
Cheers.
tell.
No.
No, we communicate well, I think.
Sure do. Oh, yeah! Nothing like toasting your very own lake.
Yeah.
Here's a look at camp this morning. It's looking pretty cloudy, so hopefully it is a good day for a rest day.
was going to sleep a little bit longer, but I had to get fishing before any rain comes. I had to blast through so many ponds and small lakes on the way to get here. We barely fished any of the lakes properly. Had to get my chance in here. And I don't know what's in here. It's an unnamed lake. I have no idea what species are in it or anything about the depth or bathymetry. So it'll be interesting to find out. Most of the lakes here are either pike and walleye lake or they're a lake trout lake. Some of those have brook trout as well. This lake is just as spectacular as I imagined. Got this long channel here, which I can't even fish in. It's a bit too shallow to troll. But it's just so pretty. I'm just going down it to scout it. We might come up this way. Here's a visual of this lake. We're camped about there. There's this smattering of islands, this long channel here, and then I'm in this one here. I drew an orange line over it because it's a potential route. And then to the south, a nice another arm and some nice hills in there. Really spectacular route, and it's opening up here. This looks like might be a good place for us to go tomorrow. I'll show you the view here in the islands.
This is our rest day. We chose it because the forecast called for rain, so John was really good last night and set up the tarp ahead of time. I was way too tired, so I was thankful that he had the energy to do that. He's out there now just getting a little bit of a fire going for some tea and coffee, try and keep us warm, but otherwise we're hanging out under here today and just happy not to be on the move.
It's hot.
What are they doing?
Playing tag.
How are they keeping this up? That's got to be just exhausting.
Another day, another bruise.
We don't have a gas stove, but there's always dry tinder under the forest canopy. We've got more chili going now, that's rehydrated and hot. And then garlic bread, which needs to be flipped. I'll get some cheese on that too.
This morning I paddled the center of the lake in the south end, and Erin and I just paddled to the north end, and no bites. Can't believe it. We've rushed through so many lakes where pike and walleye were biting, just thinking that this lake was going to be better, and it didn't matter. And now we get nothing.
It is day 6, and we've been cooped up in the tent here for an hour. Woke up an hour ago and wanted to get going, but we can't because it's raining and it's just not warm enough to be wet right now. The forecast that we have is 5 days old now. We don't have cell phone signal out here, obviously, so we have no idea what's waiting for us today. But we have a problem, which is that we are running out of time. We have 3 days left to do this. We can stretch to 4 if needed. And on the 5th day, Erin's parents are going to call in search and rescue. So we have to get out of here. Going to give it half an hour more and then just leave no matter what. Finally got a brief break in the rain, so we're taking our chance to escape here. Just eating some peanut butter sandwiches quickly to get on our way. Plus the bread, I think, is almost about to go. One piece was moldy yesterday, so better eat it up.
That was a fun little bit of motivation we needed. A little boost.
Almost there.
We're hacking our way through the creek here, clearing the sides so we can drag the canoe through. But it's slow progress. The alder in the stream has gotten too thick, so we blasted a little path through the side, and it's going okay. Erin just took a pretty hard fall, but she's a trooper as always. We're now smack dab in the middle of a long march like this, and the other sole off Erin's boot just came clean off. Can you walk without it?
Mm-hmm.
See, is there much support?
Yeah, there's a bit.
Is there somewhat of a heel?
What I'm concerned about later is like rocks and stuff. Like there's no grip, eh? So
Right.
we'll work on that.
Okay.
But it's good for now.
Okay. We've abandoned the creek entirely now, and we're just gonna bushwhack everything through here. No time to clear if we're gonna make it to our lake tonight, so we're just bulldozing. We've been at it for many hours. Hardly recorded any of it. Pretty miserable. Haven't seen sun all day. It's rained a bit. It's getting on dinner. We haven't had lunch. A few small snacks. We're just hoping it's almost over. Spirits are much higher now. We're very close to some big lakes, which will more or less take us home with much less difficulty. And there's a beautiful chute here. Gorgeous. Just came through there. We're on Martinet Lake, and we are just looking for the first viable campsite. Such a relief. Found a site that's reasonable. We're not too picky right now. Drying everything out as much as we can before we set up camp, and we're going to get a fire going. We need it.
All good. This is our first real meal of the day. Mm-hmm. We had pieces of bread with peanut butter to start. We were supposed to have this for lunch. Didn't have anywhere to stop. So we had Snickers and a little bit of grated cheese and crackers.
A little bit.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited for this.
Mm-hmm. It's rehydrated chicken, spinach, cucumber, bell peppers, and a rice side dish with some sriracha.
Yes. Hot meal, real meal. It was amazing. It's like, it's got to be 8:30 by now, 7? Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably 8:30. So our first real meal. And we worked hard today.
Mm-hmm. It was the hardest day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just joyless.
Let's try.
There was no pleasure to it.
No.
Until now, except the moose. The moose sighting was nice.
Yeah, but that was real, really.
It was brief.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suffer for little joy. Mm-hmm. And today's a huge day because we connected the east to the west parts of these lakes, which was the hardest part. So hopefully we have a nice couple of days left.
Yeah.
Still some wild cards left.
End of day 6, and it was absolutely grueling. Just trying to get through the creek. We did about 7 kilometers, which doesn't seem that far, but it was a lot more when you count that we had to double carry half the time, and I lost both my soles, so I had no traction, which was painful, and took a couple reasonable spills, but
Big spills.
it feels really good to be end of today. We found a trail at just our last port, and it finally feels like hopefully we're on the downhill. So good day and happy to be dry.
Good ending.
Yeah, good
Horrible
ending.
day.
It was a horrible day, but it's a good ending, and hopefully that's the worst of it.
It's day 7. We were hoping for sun this morning. Our stuff is pretty damp, but we're just gonna make the best of it.
There's a patch of blue sky. First time in like 3 days. Oh, yes, please.
Forget what the sun feels like.
I know. Oh, we're feeling the sun on our skin for the first time in about 3 days, and it's such a morale booster. And we have these long lakes to cover to get us most of the way out of here. Feeling a lot better. The fishing still sucks, but we've been on pike and walleye lakes for quite a long time, since day 2. And I'll be excited to get back into some trout lakes after this one. Erin had a great line, which was, we didn't take a canoe trip. We took a canoe on a hiking trip. It was a rough route. Until now. Not bad. Fish on finally. I knew it would take the sun to warm it up for the to warm up the pike and the walleye. No, it's pike and pretty good eating size. Might have to keep that. Finally have a shore lunch.
Well, our luck just really turned around. Just got to shore quickly and dispatched this fish. Our luck had just really turned around with the weather and fish and everything. Found this perfect little beach to cook it up, and we're looking forward to that. Alright, Erin is not into fish, but she's trying. So I chunked it up kind of like fish sticks, or chicken strips. And see what she thinks. A little fishy. There, you heard it, I'll take it. Thanks for trying.
I'll get there.
So Erin's done. I guess I'll just eat 99% of this pike. I'm sure my body can use it. We made up some penne for Erin to eat. That was the long way of saying it.
Yep. How'd you feel?
I don't know, it felt heavy at first, and now not much. Yeah, about the same. Pike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try not to net him, just let it go. buried himself in some weeds. About the same again. There we go. Yeah. Back on the board. Keep tension, keep tension. You want him netted? Huh?
Yeah, probably.
Good job.
Thank you.
We're back in snowmobile country, and that means that we have some really nice trails. Normally I hate the snowmobiles and signs of human life, but right now we're really grateful for it. Pike? Oh, I thought this was a trout lake more so. Laid out some line. It's too close. Huh, yeah, just a little pike. We're well into Willie Lake now, and we're just looking for a campsite. If we find a good one, we'll camp here. If not, we carry on to Grueling Lake, which is our last big lake. We think our next portage goes up through there in between those two hills, so it could be an ugly one. Yep. Late May, and there's still pockets of deep snow. Poor Erin has no soles on both of her shoes. She's basically hiking in bowling shoes. It's muddy, slippery, icy.
Day 7, last port, and there's a trail, which is awesome, but it's super steep. So we're just taking our time. It's not too long. It's about 600 meters, but just grueling uphill. But John's doing really well with the canoe, and I'm putting away back here with my slippers for shoes, and we're looking forward to making camp tonight.
Our bodies have nothing left in the tank. This is a pretty steep portage. It goes way up and then way down. And we're just putting one foot in front of the next. But the good news is we found fiddleheads. So we'll saute some of those up with butter. We're just gonna pick some now. Fiddleheads have to be picked before they're 8 inches in height, ideally much less than that. Otherwise they become somewhat toxic, and they can easily be confused with other varieties that don't have a U-shaped stem or have like a black hairy shell or a cottony shell. It's brown and papery, it comes right off.
We have been looking for fiddleheads all trip. This is day 7 of 8, last port of the day, and in this freaky ravine we stumbled across some. We're super excited. So here they are growing. They have, what we know about them to look for in comparison to other ferns is this brown papery outer shell.
Comes right off.
And it comes right off. And then the U-shaped stem. So we finally come across some after our whole trip. I've had my eyes down trying to find them. So we're pretty excited to fry them up tonight.
Oh, we're close to the end. We're looking for a campsite on this rugged lake. That's the closest we've seen so far, but it's like a 15-degree slope, so sleeping on it's going to be a nightmare. We're going to keep looking. This is a very rugged lake and very deep as well. It gets up to 350 feet deep. We finally got a trout. Erin hooked into a lake trout. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Erin's first lake trout.
Send you back. Number 2.
Nice. Okay, fiddleheads are all rinsed up. Now it's time to boil them. So I'm going to boil them first for 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'll saute them in butter.
So good.
It's raining, and we are just content to stay warm and dry because we've been cold and wet so much over the last week. So I'm gonna ride it out here. Our gear is pretty dry. Sleeping bag is a bit damp, but not too bad. Ready for a good sleep.
It's our last day. We got to get off this lake before the storm comes in. It's looking pretty nasty.
We got a bit of time without the rain here, thankfully, to pack up, but it's one more lake that we're rushing through. We didn't fully explore and enjoy. The weather's been rough on this trip. We had the ice, the rain, the cold, wind today, thunderstorms. It's been a tough one. We've just been beaten down by nature on this trip, but we still managed to enjoy it. This is what we've done so far. And now to close out the trip, we need to come down Grueling Lake into Geordie, take Mink Creek to this ATV road, and then portage 6 kilometers back to the highway. The alternative is to take Mink Creek the whole way, but we're just so done with creek travel right now. It doesn't look much better than what we went through 2 days ago. The wind is whipping drizzle on our faces, and we didn't even have time to eat breakfast. We just wanted to get off this big lake before the weather turns worse. Pretty miserable morning, cold too. Real shame we couldn't enjoy this lake more. This is a good test for fire making skills. Everything is just absolutely soaked, but we need this meal before we do this giant portage, and we have nothing left to eat that doesn't require cooking except for half a sleeve of crackers and a little bit of shredded cheese. That's not going to cut it for the next 6 hours. We put everything we had left into this oatmeal. Tons of powdered milk, butter, peanut butter, brown sugar, blueberries, all of our oats. This needs to get us through until we get to civilization. And 2 days ago, when we were bushwhacking up the creek, we got some serious cravings, especially for a burger. So as soon as we get back to town today, we're going to A&W.
Yeah.
That's all we have in Marathon. Good though. I like
Can't wait. Beyond beef burger.
Beyond meat, yeah.
Yeah. Some root beer.
Oh yeah.
And fries.
Covered in vinegar, ketchup, and salt.
Can't wait. We are trying to find an ATV route that leads to old logging road that we're gonna take a big port down. The other option is Mink Creek, but we just have no idea, and it looks on satellite like it dries up at some places, and we don't want to do that. So we're trying to find a more straightforward route because it's just terrible out. But of course it's not as straightforward as we want it to be, but we'll get there. Luckily we're not going this way because there is a bridge that's collapsed, but we're going this way, and we have about 7 kilometers of this. It's far, but it's clear, and at this point we're just so happy to have found it and be on our way.
If I'd known this, probably would have tried to do more yesterday, even more. We've come about 20% on the road, and it's actually pretty clear in spots, pretty rough in others, but we're really hoping we can get the truck up here for the second load. But we have to take this load down with us anyway, just in case we can't, and that in of itself is going to be pretty tiring.
We're about halfway through our last portage to the truck. It's 5 to 7 kilometers. Just at least we have a path, but our shoulders are burning. But we can hear the highway now, and I never thought that hearing a transport would be something I'd be excited about, but I'm really excited. Feels pretty good. We've been down this misty road for an hour maybe now, and it's looking like hopefully we can get the truck up so that we can pick up the rest of the gear. Fingers crossed.
We're about 60% done now, and we see tire treads that are far enough apart that we can distinctly say that they're a truck. So there's got to be car access here. We're just full of hope. We're back.
We're back.
Oh, what a relief. That was so rough. So rough. And now we get to drive the truck back to the canoe, which is just the biggest relief. It's one of the happiest moments of the whole trip.
Yeah. Oh, it really is.
Might not be out of the woods yet. This road is a little nasty for a truck.
That would help.
Yeah, something we can try. So close, come on. Awesome. What a mess. That was brutal. Well, just one more challenge on this trip, and one more time when we had to work together, get through it. We're out, and we are just gonna come back tomorrow. Hopefully it'll dry up a bit. It's supposed to be nicer tomorrow. We just need to get home. We'll come back for the canoe. Nothing has come easily on this trip. We started out wading through ice, walking through a couple feet of snow in some places. The next day we were cold, wet all day on rough portages. Then came the bushwhacking. We had that bushwhacked at Jim Lake, and then another full day of bushwhacking the day after that. Then we got a rest day, which wasn't all that pleasant. Then we had the swamp, the creek full of alder, slashing alder all day, bushwhacking along the side of the creek. And then the lake travel.
Nice
That
day
was
yesterday.
Yesterday was pretty nice. And then today. 8 days, nothing but challenges. We set out looking for an adventure, and we sure got one. But I think we're gonna stick to some easier canoe routes for a while.
So a year and a half ago we completed that trip, and we posted it as a 3-part series and got some questions, and we're going to do some rapid fire Q&A of kind of the top questions from that trip. The first question is, what was the deal with Erin's boots? What brand were they? Which was Vendramini or something. It was from Italy, and they seemed like good quality.
I think they were good quality boots, but they were bought secondhand. My mom just found them at a secondhand store, and they were a good deal, and so we bought them. And I had been using them for a while, and that's all I know. They were really good boots. Like, I actually wanted to repair them for a little while, put the soles back on, because otherwise I really liked them. But
yeah, who knows what happened to them in their previous life? So maybe it wasn't their fault, but yeah, it was pretty bad that both soles came off.
Yeah, we put them through.
Yeah, we put them through a lot.
Quite a bit, but yep.
Yeah, and we'll keep this rapid fire, so we'll keep it quick. Next question is, how did you wade in the ice, or how did we wade in the ice without getting hypothermia? Because we were in there for probably an hour getting through it. Mm-hmm. We didn't have wetsuits or anything on. We could have, yeah. We weren't expecting to encounter that situation. We thought if we cleared the first lake, we would be clear of the ice. But
adrenaline, probably. I don't know. Yeah, it was cold, but we just, I don't know, powered through it. It's something, I grew up swimming in Lake Superior, so I'm no stranger to cold ice, but that was obviously colder than typical swimming water. But yeah, just I think there's probably a lot of adrenaline.
We were fired up. Yeah, we've been waiting for the trip for a long time. We were excited and just motivated, and we knew we could start a fire as soon as we finished it. So once we made a camp there. Next question: does Erin have Finlander blood?
Swedish, actually. My mom's side of the family is Swedish, so that's that Scandinavian side.
Okay. Why don't you wear hip/chest waders? Get this question a lot on other videos too, and the reason is, if water comes over the top and then it's full of water, I hate that. I feel like that is inevitable, unless you're wearing chest waders, maybe you won't get over them, but the risk of it happening, or if you dump, waders aren't in the canoe, in rapids, let's say, waders aren't a good thing to have on, they fill up.
Yeah, and just for the type of trips we do with portaging and bushwhacking and things like that, we're not going to wear them through that, so it would be another thing to take off and carry, and on a trip like that's 8 days, I think that one was.
I have good Sims chest waders and boots. I would never take them on a canoe trip. It would be way too cumbersome. I like just the freedom of mobility with just regular clothes on. We're thinking about getting dry suits, but they're so expensive. And we live 3.5 hours from the nearest shopping center, 7-hour round trip. And there would be a limited selection in Thunder Bay to actually try on. So it's a hard thing to order online and have faith in the sizing too.
Yeah.
So, but someday. Are you wearing regular cotton clothes or something less stinky?
Yeah.
So most of our clothes, wool is of course the best if you want. Like, this is merino wool. Typically I have that base layer on because it doesn't stink. Synthetics are going to stink, cotton's going to stink. Basically, if you don't want to stink, then I guess your option is merino wool. And then
it sometimes stinks too.
Yeah, it does, but not nearly as bad. And then usually mid-layer synthetics, like this is a fleece hoodie, and then thick wool and fleece-lined sweater. Yeah, but for stink, yeah, on a long trip, that's just kind of inevitable. Clothes are gonna stink. You agree?
It happens.
Yeah. What kind of canoe were you in? So that was our old canoe, which was the 15-foot Expedition Kevlar, like a tougher Kevlar, heavier. Prospector, which is a great all-round choice. If you want one canoe to do kind of everything, including whitewater, then a Prospector is a great choice. Lots of cargo capacity too, although it was far too small for us with 2 big 115-liter packs and a 60-liter barrel. We were piling up, like you can see it in the footage. Having just re-edited this whole video, I look at it and I'm like, oh man, we were stacked so high, and now we have a 17-foot Prospector, and like you can lay everything flat. Those 2 feet make a massive difference.
And the canoe is Beach Marine.
Yes,
was the company.
made in Beach Marine, from Beach Marine in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Have you ever considered a pack raft? So like kind of like an inflatable little fold-up boat.
No.
No, not for this travel. We love the canoe. So first and foremost, no, I would not get the same pleasure out of paddling a pack raft. Not to mention, I don't like inflatables because I'm probably going to end up in a landfill someday. I know they make them pretty tough and you can repair them, but I feel like the longevity isn't there. And unless your amount of on-foot travel exceeds your on-the-water travel, I feel like a pack raft doesn't make sense. Like,
And they're still heavy.
yeah, they're still relatively heavy, but much more portable for like bushwhacking. But then you get
then you got to worry about puncturing them.
and deflating and inflating.
Yeah.
If you really want the benefit out of it, then you've got to deflate it. So,
no,
never.
not for what we do.
No. Next question is, how does camping with Erin differ from your solo trips? Is it easier with two? Yes, it's so much easier. You would think the work gets cut in half, but it actually feels like more. It feels like it's 3 times easier going with one other person because, I don't know, you're setting up the tent and they're starting dinner and like, it's the fusion of effort that
It's exponential, I think.
the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. Is that the expression?
Sure.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is exponentially, I think, easier with two, just the effort and things that, things you can team up to do, and I don't know. I'm struggling to find my words. But it's a lot, I find a lot easier with.
And I never felt like I was missing anything as a soloist. I was a soloist for a long time before Erin, and I loved it, and I didn't think I would find a partner who would make me feel like I wanted them there all the time, but and then I found Erin, so yeah. Why don't you kneel more in the canoe, especially in rapids? We didn't do any rapids on this particular trip, but I hate kneeling. Like, we get these technical questions all the time, like, why aren't you doing it the technical, proper way? For comfort and pleasure. I'm not training for the Olympics, and I appreciate the advice, I do. But sometimes I'm just doing things to enjoy it. I'm not looking for perfect technical perfection. I'm just enjoying the sitting on a web seat and paddling leisurely, you know. And then in rapids, I know I should more, but part of that is that I often I've been paddling a lot of shallow whitewater where I can actually step out and kind of, if I run aground or something, I need to step out quickly. So I can step out much quicker if I'm in a seated position as opposed to on my knees. So that's part of it. I should do it more, but just comfort, preference. You? Have you ever kneeled?
Sometimes I kneel on our trips just to change up the, just if it's a long day of paddling, I'll switch back and forth a little bit, but my preference is typically seated. But if I haven't done as much whitewater, I haven't had as much time for it, I would try and transition into that for the whitewater because I know it gives you more stability.
Yep. The next question was, what app did we use on our phone to show our GPS location with no cell phone data? And that is Avenza Maps. Just show it here quickly. Oh, Avenza Maps. And you can download all kinds of topo maps, and GPS is not reliant on cell phone signal. You're connecting with satellites and relaying a timestamp which gets sent back, and it triangulates or trilaterates at least with 3 satellites your position. So it doesn't need data, and you can just download tons of free maps on Avenza. So it's a great app. Next question is, what would you do if you encountered a bear?
Depends on the circumstances. Typically just try and keep our distance and scare it off, and if it's coming towards us, then we have bear spray. But we typically just try and avoid it. But bears are in Northern Ontario are typically non-aggressive. It does happen, and that's why we carry the bear spray. But for the most part, it's just be big and loud and try and scare them off. And if you can, first thing is just try and get distance between you and it. Give it its space, but...
Yeah. and avoid any attractants on your site, whether it's toothpaste or deodorant or food. Obviously, don't cook under the vestibule of your tent in the rain. Like, set up a tarp and cook under that, if anything. You can never fully eliminate bear attractants from your site. They have incredible senses of smell, so, but you do your best not, like, don't leave a steak lying out, or, you know, or steak bits from what you threw out, they're fatty bits or something, like, they'll smell that. Yeah, and we live in a small town in northern Ontario. There are bears in our town all the time, especially going into winter. Now they've probably settled down, but we have like a Facebook group for notifying community members to say, hey, there's a bear on this street, watch out, seems aggressive. And obviously they normally come out on garbage day. So yeah, just part of life up here. Any Sasquatch? No. Not Sasquatch believers. Believe almost anything's possible, so I'm not like against it. I don't think you're a fool if you believe it.
Yeah, it's just something we haven't
I
experienced.
don't. Yeah, I feel like it would have been documented by now, with good footage, not grainy footage like through the trees, or yeah, something conclusive anyway. But it's fun to believe. It's fun to think about it. Why do you release so many fish instead of keeping them? Well, Erin doesn't love fish to eat them, so we can't eat them for every meal when we're on trips together. We often have big days where we need to cover a lot of ground and need our time, and we don't have time to go fillet and cook a fish. It's easier just to grab something out of our food bag and cook it up quickly. And we're sport anglers as well. Like, I'm not necessarily proud of it, but like, I enjoy catching fish and yeah, and releasing them. So that's about it. And when I say I'm not proud of it, I mean, like, it'd be more ethical if you only fished for sustenance as opposed to for sport. But if you watch this channel, you know we do our best for the fish that we catch and release. I've got videos on that too, good catch and release tactics. And the last question in this rapid fire Q&A is this a trip you plan to do again?
I think so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put so much work into carving out some of those trails, like pure bushwhacking days. I think about our day into Jim Lake where there was that bear poop in the circle. Like, that was a pure day of bushwhacking, and yeah, I want to use that trail again.
Yeah.
But we would do things differently. We would not take that nasty creek.
Yeah, no.
On day 6. Yeah, 6. That was horrible. That was the worst day for me. For you, I think you said it might have been day 4 where we got to our rest day lake, and your feet were just battered, your legs were bruised, like you were just beaten down. But yeah.
That was a lot of bushwhacking. That was a heavy day too.
Yeah. But yeah, to answer the question.
Yeah, we'd like to revisit it.
Yeah. It's just finite vacation time and so many options. It's hard to go back to the same place, but it was a beautiful canoe route. Some spectacular lakes, very remote, like hardly ever seen some of the ponds and small lakes we were on. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.